All right. So week 8, and I'm going to try and put our minutes all on one page. We'll see how we do. I'm going to zoom in on this one though, because they get a little tiny. So here we go. It says, if 5 divided by 5/8 divided by 2/3 is equal to 5/8 times 3/2, which, by the way, this is true because when you divide, you take this and you flip it. So if this is flipped and turned into multiplication, then 4/8 divided by 2/5 would be the same as, so look at this, would be equal to 4/7. I have a feeling that they wrote this wrong, that this should be an 8, because that won't work. So we're writing this as an 8. I'm sure that is a typo, because checking the answer sheet, which I guess I could just do really quick, the answer should be, if we do this, and you're going to flip this, this should be 5/2, which is the reciprocal of that. So I'm just going to check and see if they wrote 5/2, then that should be an 8. So number 74, yep. So this was just a typo down here. So please change this 7 to an 8. So then it says, next one, to find the volume of a box, multiply all 3 dimensions. So base, length times width times height. So we can do 6 times 2 is 12. 12 times 4 equals 48. And then, of course, they don't do units, but you do need to make up something, so you can write 48 units squared. You do need to make sure you write squared. I don't know why they keep forgetting that in this. I should talk to these people about this. Or just make my own and make millions. What is the common denominator for 1/4 plus 1/5? So that means, what number do we have to change the denominator to make them common? If we were going to add these two together, first of all, writing them from top to bottom is your best bet. Just go ahead and do it. That took no time. Then you're going to take your numbers and you're going to skip count. So 4, 8, 12, 16. The only thing you're going to be able to multiply it by is 5. And if you do it to the bottom to get to 20, which is what you're going to have to do, 5 times 4 to get to 20, you have to do the top. So 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 4 is 20. 1 times 4 is 4. 5 times 4 is 20. So we have this, and then add it. What is the common denominator? 20. Now it says, for problems 4 through 7, match each clue with its correct answer. The square root of 9. So that's the thing that looks like this, and 9 is in the inside of this square root symbol. And what number? 2 numbers by itself, so 3 times 3. A 9 squared. So that means when you multiply 9 by itself, which would be 81. A factor for 10. Numbers that make up 10 are 2, 5, 1, and 10. So our only choices left are 5 or 20, so that would be this one. A multiple of 10. Multiples are skip counting, 10, 20, so 30, 40, 50, 60, that would be this way, and this goes up there. Alright, we're doing great. For problems 8 through 10, evaluate if A... So somebody said, why do they put them here? Why don't they just write them down here? I don't know. Maybe somebody was tired and it was a Friday, and they're like, do that thing where you just stick stuff there. I'm like, okay. So we're going to have to do a little bit of work because this is negative numbers up here, and these show addition signs. So -5 plus -4 plus -3. So when you're looking at these this way, you're wanting to add all of these numbers together. So, because you're adding the negative numbers. So if I owed $5 and I added another negative, if I added another $4 I would owe, so I'd be at -9. And now I'm going to add another $3 to my credit card, and I have a total of -$12 that I now owe. Don't forget to circle your answer, identify, and check over your work. That's important. So now, someone said the other day, Miss Faith, there's no symbols. I don't know what to do. If there is never a symbol, I hope you can just say it as loud as you can without waking a baby. You multiply. What do you do if there's no symbol? You multiply. So, we have -5 times -4 times -3. So I'm just going to take care of the negative part. A negative times a negative is a positive, and a positive times a negative gets us a negative answer. So I'm just going to say our answer will for sure be negative. 5 times 4 is 20, and 20 times 3 is 60, so -60 for number 9. Next would be A minus C. So -5 minus C, which is -3. Which these two together make a positive. So if I owed $5 and I had $3, I would now owe I would owe $2. So -60, -2, and -12. And all of these are correct. Let's do minute 75. I have a feeling we'll have to stop after this and do minute 76 and 77 on the same page. How many legs do each of the following have? 4 chairs have, oh my gosh, I seriously just about laughed out loud. So I thought they were going to say a chair has 4 legs. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So if you have 4 chairs, you would have 4 chairs each with 4 legs, which would be 16. If you had 5 ducks and each duck, assuming there's no birth defects or abnormalities or injuries, it would be 5 times 2, which would get us 210. What is the volume of the box? Length times width times height. 3 times 5 is 15. 15 times 3 is 45 units squared. And then if you need to check your work, 5 times 3 is 15. 3 times 10 is 30. 45. Alright. If I have 10% and I have, 50% and 10%, this is actually a percentage which would be the same as 5%. What would my answer be? Well, 50, 65. 20% of 30. So if you're looking for 20% of 30, you're looking at a fifth of 130. I would just go ahead and show you this. You would take your number 30 and multiply it by 0.2. Remember, you're dealing with decimal places here. 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 3 is 6. How many numbers are behind the decimal? 1, so you would have $6. So if someone said, oh, this is $30, but you can save 20%, you would be saving $6. 20% of is $6. Next, for problems 5 through 7, solve for x. Okay, so this is the one where you have to isolate the variable, and we talked about this a little bit before. If this is plus, if this is minus, and we want to get x by itself to know what it would equal, we're going to do the opposite on this side and get x by itself. So the opposite of 25, negative 25, is positive 25. So we would add 25 to each side. 25 and 25 cancel out, so now you are left with just the x. And then you're going to say 96 take away 25 is 71. 1.5x equals 6. Then x equals, so again, this is multiplying. In order to isolate it, you would divide it. Oops, and maybe write it right. So here's a funny thing. I know 1.5 can go into, this will cancel out. I know that 1.5 goes into 3 twice. So if it goes into 3 twice, it would go into 6 4 times. And I can check my work on this one. I just go 6 divided by 1.5 equals 4. Next. If 3/8 times x equals 1, remember times means you multiply the number. If you want this answer is 1, you just flip the number and do the reciprocal, which would be 3. Oops. I literally wrote it correctly right here. 8/3. Okay. For the what are the coordinates for G? Go left and right first, so it's over 2, positive 2, up 3. So that's all in the positive sector. This one is going to be negative because you're going back a number, positive. This one is going to be negative. And this one is going to be positive. Oops. Negative. Okay. What are the coordinates for K? K is negative 2 back, negative 3 down. Negative 2, negative 3. All right. I'm going to pause.